The narcissist in chief, the budget Dorito, the loser of the American dream as we know it, Donald Trump. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Donald Trump. Did I say that out loud? Of course I did. Because this is the man who has, as nothing more than the commander-in-chief, decided to punish NATO members for not helping the war he has already won. He's won the war. It's all done. It's perfect. Go get your own oil. We're still on this because it affects everybody. It affects all parts of society. And even in the last video, which I was very successful with, involving us discussing the fact that NATO's on its last legs, this is where Donald Trump is talking about auditing NATO members and punishing them accordingly. Like, it's a defensive alliance, you fucking budget Dorito.
I was going to say, what on earth are you on thinking you could punish us?
For that, for not getting involved in your foreign expansionistic war without even informing us.
Something we didn't start.
And you
budget
did.
Dorito.
I'm Sean.
I'm Chris.
And this is the Blue Collar Workers, what politics actually means for working people in the UK. I mean, I'm incredulous that the Prime Minister hasn't told him. I mean, it indicates to how good our Prime Minister actually is as a Foreign Secretary. Fucking brilliant in foreign affairs. Because I'd have told the budget Dorito to fuck off by now. I'd have told him to fuck off. I would have kicked all of America's businesses out of Britain by now.
I was going to say, the moment I heard he started the war, I'd be on the phone going, stop, or you could fuck off.
I'm deadly serious here, you know. There's the uncomfortable question is the US has actually lost control of the Straits of Hormuz. It has. It's completely done. It's fucked. They have no... They say they're sending in mine layers, but these mine layers, like the cost level of what America is doing to what Iran is inflicting are whole different fucking levels. Iran is doing things in the price tags of millions. America is spending billions to effectively fucking things up. And they're not even succeeding. That's the thing. It's like the budget level is such a different fucking cause. The finances are so massively different. And the Iranians are winning. Everybody in the world can see that.
So the Iranians are holding their own on basically a tenth of the budgets of what America is spending.
Correct. Yeah. So the decapitation effects did not remove the regime. The regime is still standing, very much still standing. Even with a ceasefire, the shipping through the Straits of Hormuz is still heavily disrupted. We haven't got to the price problems affecting Europe yet. Because as I was doing some research, Chris, about how tankers move at push bike speed. You know, you're push biking towards various things. So they take about 2 to 3 weeks to get to where they're going. We've had 6 weeks of that war. So, of course, Asia gets hit first. They've had it fucking bad. Yeah, let's be very, Asia's had it bad. Africa's next. They've had a really fucking rough ride of it. Themselves, fuel problems, crises. Japan is doing all kinds of shenanigans to get their fuel sorted. Fuel shortages is what they are. And we're next. We're going to feel it. Europe is absolutely going to feel this. We're going to feel this at the end of April coming into May. Because we have a delay on when our fuel arrives. The fertilizer for Africa is fucked. Okay? The fertilizer for Europe, for Asia is fucked. Absolutely fucked. I don't think our fertilizer is affected. I'm not sure, but the European fertilizer might be affected. But the very nature that the planting, actual food plantation, there are going to be increases in food prices, said the politicians. No, there's going to be famines, mate. There's no fucking food increases. There's going to be famines. There are going to be man-made famines, and Donald fucking Trump made them. And anybody allied to him in the political sphere are going to feel that. Absolutely, without reservation. And thousands of vessels are still stuck there, Chris. Like literally just fucking grounded there. Oil prices are still elevated. Normal traffic hasn't come anywhere close to resumed. It's a fucking shit show. And did you see the most recent news from Islamabad, the capital of Pakistan? No. Just recently, ladies and gentlemen, like literally this morning I was reading it. There's no peace agreement. America's walked off after 20 hours.
Fuck's sake.
Oh yeah, America, no peace, fuck it, I'm up. That was J.D. Vance. Fucking man-child, the gimpoid of America. fucking gimp mask he needs. I'm serious. Absolute fucking shit show. What America has done has been nothing but a shit show. They can't admit they've lost. Donald Trump cannot admit he's lost. He is such a fucking narcissist that he cannot admit he's lost the Straits of Hormuz, the war, the conflict. He's lost it, yeah? Him and Israel have fucked it. Israel is fucked, absolutely fucked.
Wasn't it literally when they come to that ceasefire, Israel within 24 hours?
No, they've been bombing Lebanon. They haven't stopped bombing Lebanon. They haven't stopped bombing Lebanon. And Iran has said that is a violation of the peace agreement.
I'm going to say literally within 24 hours of the peace agreement, they were still carrying on.
Yeah.
That just shows Israel's true intentions.
If you control the straits, Chris, you control the flow of oil, and Iran can inflict horrific damage to the rest of the Gulf states' infrastructure because they don't have the level of Israel's air defense systems, which means that if the remaining Gulf states continue to have a relationship with America, it is detrimental to their very survival as countries. Because if the Saudi Arabian and UAE and the Gulf states, if their petroleum infrastructure collapses, their countries are dead. Because that represents 80% of their income
if
or more.
Any of them, I'll be ditching America like a stone.
I think a lot of them they're already thinking about it. They're waiting for the right opportunity, or who's brave enough to step forward first, and then it will be a domino effect. I think that Europe's going to give America the boot first.
I reckon if we
Britain and Europe are going to give America the boot.
I guarantee you, as soon as we do that,
The domino effect in the Middle East and everywhere else is going to go.
It'll just follow straight through, and then Trump will really see what his actions.
I wasn't wrong when I said to you that he's probably going to be the last major world power president. There might be a president after him.
But it won't exactly be a world power president.
No, absolutely not. America's power is dwindling in real time. You spend billions and billions and billions to bomb Iran, and you've done nothing. You've changed none of the dynamics. The regime is still in power. They've still got ballistic capacity. The Straits of Hormuz are still under their control. America has achieved none of its goals. Not a fucking single one of them.
Do you realise the conspiracy theorists will probably go dancing at their seat now? Going,
No,
we're right.
That's the problem.
Even the Simpsons.
The mad thing is, Chris,
Simpsons are scary when they come to their predictions.
The problem being is that they probably have major political analysts that are now on that fucking show. Because they've been doing this for so long, there's probably big wig fucking intellectual political analysts going, oh, that's going to happen, that's going to happen. And then you've got the satire writer probably sat right next to him, satirely writing it.
It's probably like a school. We know this is going to happen. Let's introduce it through a cartoon so it's not so much of a shock.
Yeah, it's.
Even though I'm going to say it, I know some people will agree, some will go, I do enjoy The Simpsons. I'll continue watching The Simpsons for as long as it's aired.
Oh, absolutely. The US has degraded Iran's military capacity, absolutely, and actively clearing the route. But the reality is, it doesn't cost Iran a great deal to remine it.
Well,
that's what people don't understand.
They're doing it on the 10th of the budget of what America's doing it. Yeah. If you think about it, it'll probably cost America a good half a billion or more to mine that same stretch of water.
No, demine.
Yeah, no, it's even to mine it. If it's on the other foot, to do that. Yet Iran's turning around going, we just need the things to explode once it gets in contact. Why does it need to be so expensive?
The problem is, Iran has disrupted world oil trade so much that it has hurt America's standing worldwide. And there's no question about that. There is absolutely no question that America's standing is a net negative across the entire globe now. And Donald Trump someone has to tell him. Someone has to fucking tell the budget Dorito, the commander fucking in Queef, the master of disaster, the man who's going to audit NATO. Who the fuck do you think you're talking to? Auditing fucking NATO.
What I don't get is, if they was planning for years to attack Iran for whatever reason.
Oh, they've been planning it for decades, mate, since the Bush era.
So how can you not predict what's going to happen?
Because have you seen the Commander-in-Chief?
No, sorry, yeah.
Have you seen Hedge?
Yeah.
Peter Hedge is a fucking evangelical Christian that believes that the second coming of Jesus is nigh.
Yeah, but no.
Okay, these aren't logical people like you, Chris.
No, it's a case of fact that he has the team behind him. No,
they're lunatics.
No, the team behind him to access the information to turn around.
Chris,
and get to turn around and do analytics. I thought war was all about analytics.
Chris, I love you, I really do, but you have no idea of the fucking lunatics behind him.
Clearly, all he does, as John keeps saying, is hire lunatics.
The people who should be advising the president are not there. Let's be quite frank about that. They're not. We need to say that. The real analytical, the smart political activists.
This is the thing that shocks me, yeah? Since Trump is meant to be a businessman, yeah?
He's terrible at running countries.
Yeah? He's meant to be a businessman, so if he stepped into the presidential alignment within that similar mind frame, I have a feeling he would do a less terrible job than following the fucking lunatics he's asking.
He has put those, Chris, the problem is he has appointed these lunatics because they're all yes men. They're too frightened to tell him that he's losing. There are generals who aren't allowed to talk to him because they will tell him bluntly what the fuck is going on.
Then that's not leadership.
No, I know, but that's what people are saying. As you read the press coming out of America, there are US generals that want to explain things to the president plainly, and they're not allowed by Pete Hedges. Because the evangelical nutcase knows these generals are going to tell him, boss, we're losing.
That's not leadership, that's dictatorship.
Of course. Armani, one of the biggest exports from Britain to America.
Armani?
Yeah, I think he's Nadrus Armani or something like that. He's a big speaker.
It's a person. I was fairly serious and I thought he was thinking of a designer. I was like, really?
Give me a second, mate. I'll just get.
Just find it crazy. The budget Dorito is not using the 2 brain cells he has. Oh, at this rate, I'll be surprised if it's even a brain cell. Mr. Businessman. Supposedly.
Talk hosts defending
So by the sounds of it, America's split in half at the moment.
Oh no, it's worse, mate. The country's more divided than it has been in years, Chris.
I really do sense a civil war happening in America.
Mehed Hassin, a British-American journalist, broadcaster and author. Mehed Hassin. He's I believe he's from Iraq. He has clearly, irrevocably made clear that the entire system is collapsing and eating itself alive. The Zionist movement is lost so much influence, it's unreal. It's probably on its last legs at this point.
Bye-bye, Israel.
No, I think that's inevitable. I think no matter how much military armaments they have, it only takes what will be a successful separation of Europe to America that will end Israel. That will go, because there will be no route for America to supply Israel.
Yeah,
I don't think
we'll cut them off.
Yeah, I think the most benign thing that Europe will do is say to Israel, we can't do business with you. And that's the end of Israel. Israel only needs to lose Europe as a trading partner. No, it doesn't even need sanctions.
Just you've done absolute disgusting things. We're not doing business with you.
Yeah, that's all they need to do.
Basically, cut off their financial bargaining chip.
And this whole mess comes back to the UK.
Can you just imagine Israel trying to go begging back to the Middle East after what it's done to it?
No, they won't. I think the scenarios that I've seen online from political commentators is if Europe and America have a massive split and Europe stops just trading with Israel, the Israeli population are hypersensitive. Remember, they are known for jumping on planes at the smallest connotation. A collapse between Europe and Israel, because of a collapse between Europe and America, would lead to an immediate exodus they'd be out. Most of the settlers would be back in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and America within a week. The forward collapse. I don't think people understand how quickly Israel will collapse as a society if Europe stopped trading with them.
They would literally simply retreat and bugger off.
Yeah, yeah. The nature of Zionism isn't a permanent kind of settled community at this point. It never has been. There have been examples where during the most recent, you remember the most recent Gaza war?
Yeah.
Going back from 2023, where it slowly stopped, yeah? At the beginning of that, 350,000 Zionists left Israel at the beginning of that war.
Damn.
350,000. Now, they keep coming back. I do just say that, they do come back. But there is a very flighty risk with Zionists. They are very, very quick to jump on planes. Israel has the most domestic fucking aircraft going. Their population can be very jump out the door as quickly as possible. If a major breakage between Europe and Israel happened, it would spell the absolute death knell of Israel. And the public, who are far more sensitive to this stuff than everyone notices, because they're really quick about this, it would be gone. There'll be tens or 20,000 people leaving per day. Israel only has a population of about 8 million Jews. They would be out of the country by the end of week 3, tops. And that's the greatest gift Europe can give to Palestine. Stop trading with Israel. Unquestionably. Because it would terminate Israel as a country. We don't even need to deal with sanctions. We can collapse the country just by stopping the trade. We're not sending you oil. We're not letting America resupply your bases. We're not getting involved. We refuse to participate in this horror. Do what Spain is doing now. And I want to say that. The Spanish, you're fucking legends. Yeah? The Spanish is actually saying to America, no, you're not using the bases. No, you're not supplying Israel. No. They've told America no. The Spanish have done far more than we have. They've told America to fuck off. Literally told them to fuck off. And again, this comes back to my point, Chris. You don't need a full blockade to affect world trade. Iran only has to put a couple of hundred fucking mines in the water every month. And they're affecting world fucking oil supplies. They only have to threaten to send some of their hidden missiles into Saudi Arabia, into UAE, into Qatar. They only need to threaten it, and the fucking oil price skyrockets. So they have the strategical position, because insurers are flighty people. We're talking about economical insurance. Yeah. And because these insurers are flighty people, they will run. They will run the minute something goes fucking wrong.
Just why the cost of everything skyrockets.
Yeah, of course. Because the ships aren't, it isn't even about the mines. It's because the insurance companies have turned around and said, we will not cover your insurance whilst there's a conflict in the Middle East of that size. And because of that, no tanker is leaving.
I'm not, if my ship goes up, I get nothing, so no, I ain't leaving.
And if there's no insurance, you're absolutely not going to take the risk.
No.
There are no insurance companies willing to take the financial risk of insuring a vehicle going through the Straits through what's going on now in the West. We're Western tankers. And that's the fucking mad thing. And this is going to restructure it. Eventually what happens is the oil supply route is going to restructure in a friendlier sense to Iran. Whether the Western Arabs like that or not, that's fucking irrelevant. What's Saudi Arabia and the rest of the world? Saudi Arabia has been deathly quiet about all this. Yeah? Relatively speaking, they have not attacked Iran. They have not retaliated. They've been very, very quiet because this is a learning curve for them. They're realising that their 90 million cousins, Islamic cousins, because they're Shias, have the farmland, the oil, the material. Iran is one of the richest resource countries in the fucking Middle East, mate. They don't live in deserts, Chris. Iran has huge open fucking fields, mountains, massive amounts of infrastructure, huge amounts of iron, copper, nickel, the fucking works. They don't need the rest of the world to operate.
It's a literal gold mine.
Yeah, in terms of resources. And they export their oil to places like China and other. And I fundamentally have to say this. If America continues down this Donald Trump fucking lunacy wall, we need to back ourselves up. We need to counsel the special arrangement. We need to basically consider, are we willing to stay in NATO? And I fundamentally don't believe we should. I think we should leave NATO, build a European alliance with Europe and join it. I think that's the net rule. Because he's fucking crazy. He's making China look appealing.
Fuck.
He's making China look appealing. And China is one of the most authoritarian nations on earth. Let's be very, very clear about this. I've got no bad thing to say about the Chinese because they've never done me any harm, and they realistically haven't done Britain that much harm in general. There's a couple of diplomatic and spying things. I couldn't give a fuck about that. That doesn't affect British society. Yeah? Intellectual property, I couldn't care less about. That's a billionaire's problem. Really is. Those are so above Britain's normal people. China has no grievances with the British people. Iran does. That's the fucking scary thing. Iran has had hostile intent with us. Terrorism. Russia does right now. Russia is taking the piss right now in the North Sea. Russian ships, Russian military ships are crossing over in British waters right now. That's how fucked the Royal Navy is.
They really are testing the boundaries, aren't they?
Of course. But Keir Starmer, in his regard, because our Navy's so fucked, he is doing well. He's not rising to the occasions. He's not reacting to them, which is good. The British have got long memories, right? The Putin's going to come unstuck with that. He's only got a couple of fucking frigates, an aging fucking through-deck cruiser. Much of the Russian Navy is a fucking mess, like the British Navy. Ours is decayed from negligence. His is mostly fucking dead because he can't afford it and he can't build it. And some of it's been sunk by the Ukrainians. Let's be fair about it. We have to give them the due. The system we see, the world political, economical system we're seeing, it's crumbling. And it's crumbling because America is making it crumble.
The power is shifting.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're moving away from a centralistic unipower. I think the strategical disruption to NATO is escalating. I think that NATO has never been weaker than it is now because of the way America has treated its allies. And you can roll a correlation to this, ladies and gentlemen, by the way that America under Trump treated NATO involving Greenland before going into this Iran war. And then he wonders why his European allies said, your war, you deal with it. I mean, that's basically, there's more diplomatic terms of that, like, oh, NATO's a defensive power. We know that we went to war with the cunt for fucking Iraq. We went to war with the cunt militarily with support for Gaddafi, for Syria. We did all that. We know NATO is a fucking aggressive force when it suits Western leaders, when it suits Western Europeans. It is, right? This defensive bollocks is bollocks, okay? We need to call it what it is. But on paper, NATO is a defensive alliance. And now, on paper, the Europeans have told the Americans it's a defensive alliance. And the Americans are thinking, oh, so we're out here on our own now.
Because he was hoping we would turn around and...
Why would we turn up when you play fuckery with
He didn't even turn around and speak. Did he even speak to us?
No. He attacked and then expected everyone to jump on board. Israel and him attacked on their own. No one else was spoken to about it. Because the Israelis knew, without a shadow of a doubt, that London and Paris and Berlin would talk him out of it.
Because we're turning and go, think of the financial complications.
We would give good reasons for Trump to come out of it.
I could guarantee you at least one of us, or not all of us, to turn around and go, you do that, oil prices will skyrocket.
Yeah.
And you would lose favour with everybody else within seconds.
A scenario, the stabilisation, the best case scenario is that it stabilises, that the ceasefire holds, that there is some kind of unspoken agreement between Iran and the West. And we're going to have to pay the Iranians for the oil. We're going to have to pay the ransom.
The only way that's going to happen is if we turn around and silence Israel.
Chris, I don't think me and you are going to be talking about Israel at the end of when we decide. I don't know when, but when me and you stop podcasting, sometime in the future. I mean, we've got season 3 already, so we're already locked in for probably 10 seasons, maybe more. But when we get to, I don't think me and you will not be alive. We will be alive when Israel dies. I think that's very plausible now. Now, if you'd asked me that, even though it's a nuclear-armed country, it is so exposed with so much flighty behaviour of the Zionist population because they know they're genocidal bastards. Their press is even more honest than this. The average people on the streets of Tel Aviv, on the streets of Jerusalem, they want to genocide the Arabs. They're happy about this. They believe in Greater Israel. They're so drunk on weapons and power that they think they're invincible. And I don't think the Zionists understand how fragile their country is without the West. And I don't mean just America. because Israel doesn't support itself, doesn't live just on America. 60% of Israel's domestic fucking supplies come from Europe. That's what I'm talking about.
EU, I think it's time for us
Absolutely.
to turn around and send a very powerful message.
They only have to stop trading with them.
Yeah, just do that. We want to stop this shenanigans. Time to cut off the part which is causing issues. Surgically remove it.
I don't think that we're going to see a stabilisation effect under Donald Trump. I think the next scenario is
How much longer is he in power for?
Technically till 2028, he won't make it. I publicly commit myself to saying Donald Trump will not see the end of his term. Because no matter how much shenanigans he engages in November, when the senatorial elections come in, and the Congress elections, when the big elections in the lower and upper house happen, this November, he's going to get impeached. He is absolutely, because of
the first president to be impeached.
No. There are the last ones. We weren't alive when the last ones were impeached.
So it has happened before, then?
Yeah, it has happened before. I know that's not true. Nixon, I think, was impeached, but he resigned. He wasn't actually fully all the way impeached.
I mean, it was in the process of being impeached.
And I don't know, you weren't even alive during Nixon. And I was a baby, kind of. I think that's the kind of time period back.
So Nixon was in the process of being impeached, but he saw it coming and just resigned instead.
Was Nixon impeached? That's a good question, because I don't know. No, Richard Nixon was not formally impeached by the House of Representatives. He was facing certain impeachment for his role in the Watergate scandal. He resigned in August. No, I wasn't even alive. That's the last time someone would even, and it was certain that he was going to get done for Watergate, which is a massive piece of news.
So basically there was, as I call it, getting everything together, ready to turn around and go, you're impeached, bugger off, and he saw it coming and went, nah, I quit.
Yeah. Nixon's resignation came because he was advised he lacked the votes to avoid impeachment in the House and conviction in the Senate.
Do you reckon they'll do that with Trump, or just avoid?
No. He won't resign, because they won't just back down. Do you know what I'm saying? His impeachment trial will go on after if he was to resign. So he'll hold on to whatever power structure he can, because he knows if the Democrats win the House and the Senate, he's fucked. He's beyond fucked. Because he has been sending troops into their states, into their cities, shooting innocent women and children, innocent women and men. Like, I'm telling you, Chris, he's fucked.
It's not that, I can't remember what they were calling it now.
ICE.
ICE.
Yeah. ICE, basically, they're organised thugs. And remember, that cunt, Nigel Farage, wants to do that here.
Nigel Farage, you can go over there and see what it's like.
No, he's a cunt. His party's fucked.
I'll stick you on the other side where you're getting attacked by ICE.
You only have to see. I think this is a wake-up call for many people to look at how America has developed along its Trumpism. Take a look at Farage and go, what the fuck? Because he's like a mini Trump. He really is. He spouts a lot of the rhetoric of Donald Trump. And Britain, you need to pay attention to this. As a state, as a nation, as a people, you need to be keenly fucking aware of how incredibly fucking dangerous Donald fucking Trump is, and then realise that Nigel Farage is like the mini-me.
Mini-me. But then, I can never pronounce his name, the Green Party leader.
Polensky. Chris, I told you.
He's gaining quite a bit of momentum.
Not only is he gaining a lot of this, but I don't like his money politics. Lovely human being. Great, decent, civic person. Yeah? I say this both as an Irishman and as a Muslim. I've got nothing but respect, but I wouldn't vote for Polensky because I don't trust his financial means. Because it will do more disruption. Like, if we'd had Polensky, a one-in-a-generation Green leader, yeah, in the 90s, fantastic. Things are stable, we wouldn't have needed that. Today, we've got oil prices going. We need a stable economist. We need someone who puts bricks around the door and sorts out the fucking problems at home.
The one that'll balance the books.
Yeah. And Polensky won't. He wants to experiment. He wants to say, let's go into a green energy's false toil. And I love the idea of what he's got.
I like that idea, but we haven't got the infrastructure for it.
Yes, that's the problem. And so this is no criticism to Polensky. We love. I think he's 15, 20 years too early. Or 15, 20 years too late. You know, in his 90s he'd be fine. 2000 even you'd have been okay.
Correct person to advance us if everything was balanced, not the correct person when everything's unstable.
The fucking country is up. Like petrol's gone mental right now here in the UK, and it's going to get worse. It's going to get a hell of a lot worse. Petrol.
I'll be covering that in a minute, so don't worry.
That's petrol fucking prices have gone fucking mental. Whether or not the systems can hold together, I don't know. I think, as my closing statement before we move over to Chris's point, is NATO is on its last legs. Donald Trump trying to audit NATO is a fucking massive mistake. The Prime Minister is on the verge of telling that budget Dorito to fuck off. I think Spain's middle finger has probably reverberated with the rest of Europe. I don't think Macron is far behind him. In fact,
I reckon Spain lit the match.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I reckon Spain lit the match.
Spanish absolutely lit the match.
A match which, I'm sorry, needed to be lit ages ago.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, have you seen please do mention the oil problems with fucking Ireland. Have you seen that? Half the petrol stations in Ireland are fucking closed.
Yeah, I have heard about that, yeah.
Like Ireland is fucking dry, bone dry when it comes. Like, I've got no fucking oil, Christopher. How the fuck am I going to get McGuinness? Seriously, that's how fucking bad it is at home with my father's people.
This is where if we had the infrastructure to go green, we wouldn't care.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the problem. This is one of those arguments, Polensky. If we have the infrastructure, it would be in Britain's interest to use it. We don't.
I know we're developing it because I have seen electric buses within Gloucester. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's going in the right direction. We just need to build the infrastructure to a more solid foundation, which electric companies are not going to like. So the fact I will turn around and boost renewable energies through the roof.
I cap this with the escalation. Worst case scenario is that Israel fires nuclear weapons. And that will be
World War III?
No, I don't think so. From all the research I've done, if Israel...
Is Iran in nuclear power?
No.
Okay, then we're fine. Then it won't be World War III.
No, it would be worse. If Israel fires a nuke at Iran in its Samson option, because they feel that their society is in danger, I think the likelihood is the world will cut Israel off. Like the whole world will stop trading. They will become the pariah state. America will probably become a pariah state with them.
The thing is, if Israel was to turn around and do launch a nuke at Iran, and the entire world cuts them off, does that include shutting down the border so none of them can come across? Would we be that cruel?
I don't know.
That is the point.
I think the Zionist population would shit itself and probably retreat to America.
No, I have a distinct feeling.
No. The Americans would always take them in.
No,
There's too many evangelicals out
there. I was
there.
going to say, the only way I think to turn around and stop Israel from using the Samson protocol is the rest of the world turn around and go, you use that, your borders are shut to your entire population.
At which point the Arabs butcher them. And I'm no supporter of that problem. Because I know the Arabs have had decades and decades, like 7 decades of if you, and you didn't, if you as the English did what Israel's doing to the Irish, my people, there would be blood. I'm telling you, Chris, there would be fucking blood. Blood for blood. If we would have locked the 6 million Jews in there, refused flights, cut off all air traffic, the Israelis would be butchered. And we have to say that. I'm not here to sugarcoat what will happen. The Arabs will flood in from every direction and the fucking Israelis would be butchered to a man, woman and child.
So extreme level equals extreme
level. Yeah. That's why we've got to give them an outlet. Allowing them to flee to America. Off the continental shelf.
Well, as you said, there'll always be an out because of the fact there's obviously somebody in a different part that will give them
the Americas. Australia will probably do it. I don't know if New Zealand or Canada because they're very liberal, but I suspect in a doomsday scenario that Israel has to flee as a country, America, Australia,
give them the out to America and Australia then. Let's say you're not coming into Europe.
They wouldn't come to Europe anyway. We're too liberal. We would prosecute them because their population believes in the genocide of the Palestinians. We're talking about national level prosecutions. Tens of thousands of Israelis would have to be prosecuted. We're talking about prosecuting a nation at this point. And the ICC is doing that right now. They're like Benjamin Netanyahu's up on trial, fucking whole swathes of them. We're digging up old news right now. But the reality is the Israelis would be going to fucking prison.
If they stepped into
Europe. So they wouldn't. If we would prevent them from leaving, the Arabs would wipe them off the earth.
Because they'd see the opportunity and take it.
Chris, there's too much blood. If you, the English, did that to us, the Irish, and I had a nuke in my hand, I'd fucking nuke London. That's the level of butchery. Do you understand? That's the level of butchery that Israel has committed to the Arabs and their allied tribes. The Palestinians.
So literally at the moment, the only reason Israel's still standing then, because if we go to the extreme level, is the fact that they have nuclear capabilities and an exit.
Yes, that's it.
That's it.
The Israeli propaganda has collapsed.
I was going to say,
the Israeli civility society
the
is
only
collapsing.
two things that are keeping you alive is the fact that you have a back door and the capability to make a huge dent as you leave. That says to me you have failed.
It is a failed state. Israel is a failed state. There's no question that Israel is a failed state. It's a modern colonial apartheid failed state. But almost all of the 1930s, 40s and 50s, that's when the term genocide came up, yeah? Genocide scholars who coined from the term of what genocide was set in the 30s, 40s and 50s say that Israel is a genocidal state. All the genocide scholars in the world.
30s, 40s, 50s, and that World War One.
Yeah, World War Two.
World War Two, when
Hitler did what he did to the Jews.
Yeah.
So from all that, the scholars who define what is a genocide, all of the modern scholars have said Israel is committing a genocide.
So,
on the Palestinians.
I'm sorry, I'm seeing a very, very brutal correlation here.
Chris, you're not the only, that's a historical thing, and I've said that before.
I was going to say, what Germany did to the Jews,
the Jews are doing
the
to the
Jews
Palestinians.
have adopted
and are doing to the Palestinians.
Doing to the Palestinians.
Absolutely. And the problem is they're being supported by religious fanatics in America who believe that the rapture is on its way.
It's your own rapture by the sounds of it.
And so millions, tens and tens and tens of millions of Americans, and that there are teachers in America who say the Jews are better than you to children.
Fuck off.
Do you know what I'm saying? Not you as an individual better, Chris, because you're smarter, more intelligent, because you've got the right DNA or you come into the right position. Your tribe is automatically better than everyone else.
No one's better than anyone.
Of course, Chris, of course. That's a common sense point of view. We're not talking common sense.
No.
Teachers in America are teaching kids that the Jews are always better than them.
I'm sorry, but if you're a teacher and you're teaching kids that somebody else is better than you, that's a form of dictatorship.
Chris, mate, it's fucking madness. It's mad.
You should not be allowed in the school.
The American evangelical Christian schools are insane. They are absolutely insane. But then saying that, so's the other end of the scale, the woke scale in America.
You need a balance. I'm sorry, but schools, it should be balanced.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You need to turn around, mould the minds that are coming up into thinking, well, there's no point in going this way because of the fact it takes it too far that way. No point in going this way because it takes it too far that way. Each end results in the collapse of modern civilization.
So I'm going to close with what this means for the United Kingdom. And this is a very, very important. The short answer is uncertainty. Vast uncertainty. Energy costs are still going up. Chris is about to cover that. Food prices are fucking rocketing off the fucking planet. And I've got some suggestions for you. Buy dry goods. Buy yourself rice. Buy yourself pasta.
Buy local.
Buy local. Get tins. Do not be afraid to pick up tins. Do not be afraid to order them. Order them now before the oil spike truly fucking hits Europe. And it's bad now, but it's not bad when we get to week 8 and the fucking straits are still closed. And then 3 months in and the straits are still closed. Because I can see this getting far, far worse. The economical pressure is vast. I will not be surprised if parts of Britain shut down because of lack of petrol.
I feel it'd be the rural sides.
Yeah, we're fucked. We're
I don't know. We're next to GCHQ.
No, we're fucked. They will partialise. They have partialised. During COVID, they partialised GCHQ.
Shit.
Yeah. This is far greater than social
I'm glad I
distancing.
got a push bike.
So I'm not going to say what you work in, but because of what you work in, you could be out. You could be on leave very, very soon.
As long as it's paid leave, I don't care.
Because of the nature of your society. Do you know what I'm saying? Your job is around a lot of. I can't say much Britain, but it's around. And my job is on the other scale. You know, I work in the food. You work in fuel.
The one I'm in is part food, part fuel.
Yeah. But I work in fuel. We're fucked. If this economical business goes on, me and you could be out of normal work.
That's your essential workers out the window. Brian.
Absolutely. You're in the fuel industry. I'm in the food industry. You do a little bit of fuel.
Yeah. If the essential workers go out the window,
the pressure is unfucking real.
Civilization starts to crumble.
Yeah, of course it does. It's not about push biking. It's about whether or not like me and you, we're determined. We jump on push bikes. Yeah. We would say fuck driving. Well, you can walk. I can't. My job's 18 miles away.
I would say you could get a scooter. It's partially powered by electric.
The grid is all fucking powered by gas, mate. We're gonna have grid problems.
No, because you could turn around and get a scooter that's powered by kinetic energy. That charges the battery.
Yeah, you could probably do that. But you need that now. You need to buy that now.
I was going to say you could buy that now. So
you want to buy that now, Brent?
I would get a push bike that's powered by kinetic energy.
But I stand on this final clip. Please buy food, buy long-term supplies, stretch your budget to last. Get some dried goods and tins that last 6 months. I'm serious about that because this problem could never be up to that long. And you, being the fact that we talk to blue-collar workers, we address people who are working people. This could affect your bank balance, your finances, your ability to sustain your family. Buy now. And I know that sounds late, and many economists will say you should have suggested that when the home's open. Yeah, of course, but I'm not fucking crystal ball seeing. Anyway, enough on my side. We now move over to Chris.
The lovely effect of what he just was talking about on our UK fuel prices, which unfortunately, as much as people like to say, oh yeah, the ceasefire made the price of oil drop.
Not enough.
Yeah.
Not enough.
It did see a drop, a sizable drop, but unfortunately due to other people thinking the ceasefire was optional and didn't stop
Israel,
it wasn't enough. Which does mean obviously the UK, as everyone knows, you can see it gradually creeping up. I know for a fact most areas it's roughly around £2 per litre of diesel. That's just the standard diesel, not the, what's it called, the ultimate or the supreme, the best of the best diesel you can get, which is at the option pump. That's even more. I think on average it's about £2.50.
Fucking nightmare for me. Like the
Yeah.
I ride motorbikes, Britain. I'm a big fucking motorcyclist. The petrol cost for me is fucking absurd now. The E10 is just going through the fucking roof. I don't even want to know what it is for you car drivers because my costs have tripled in the 3-4 weeks of this fucking war already. You car drivers must be screaming right now.
Tank of fuel for me is rose by 10 or so. And I don't use the cheap fuel either.
No, I know. and I think that's going to get worse, mate.
At the moment, it seems to have tamed a bit. I'm not going to say tamed completely, but tamed a bit. It's not rising quite as sharply at the moment, but I have a feeling that is going to change. Obviously, this has gone on since the 12th of April. No, that's today. I just realised. Yeah, as of today, prices sit around £1.59, so almost £1.60 a litre for petrol.
Jesus.
Yeah, and roughly about £1.92 per litre for diesel. That's the B7 stuff. I believe B7 is the standard. diesel has risen since this stuff has gone on by 40p per litre, a jump. That is insane. That is crazy. Oh, it's just absolutely nuts.
No, it's bad. I mean, the fuel crisis is only going to get worse as more and more of this problem continues to stretch on, Chris. The fuel issue is entirely going to exasperate everything.
And
because I don't think people understand, petrol is fucking everything. It is the everything of Western society right now.
It's still the core way to get around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know some of you green people are like, I know it ain't no end. Yes, it is.
It is your trucks, your fuel, your trains, your fucking heating in your house is liquefied gas.
Bear in mind, they're still developing, let's put it this way, green people, they're still developing the technology for lorries to go electric, yeah?
We haven't got there yet. There are no electric bikes. What are you going to do for me, the avid motorcyclist, and all the fucking goddamn kids on their scooters? I mean, seriously.
I'd say they do electric push bikes at the moment. Well, battery-powered push bikes, yeah?
Yeah, but they're making shitloads of those illegal because they've been talking those.
Which has gone unregulated, shall we say, where people are able to adjust it and basically go the speed of a motorbike on them.
Yeah, they're fucking dangerous because you can't get insurance for them.
Mm-hmm. Which it means it becomes a roadworthy vehicle if you're starting to do motorbike speeds.
That's mad.
Yeah,
mad.
Especially since the fact you could do motorbike speeds without any safety equipment on those things, which means if you hit something, you're going far, and with nothing to protect your noggin, you're not getting up.
It's mad. It's a mad level of things.
Yeah. And obviously, this has all started since obviously the US and Israel striked Iran. And obviously then Iran turned around and mine carpeted the entire the Hamas Strait, Gaza Strait?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, if I believe correctly at the moment...
Straits of Hormuz.
Yeah, Straits of Hormuz, which I believe are all controlled electronically so they can turn them on and off.
Yeah.
So when they turn them off for people that pay around to get through, which roughly equates to the fee they're charging is £1 million a tanker.
Which, when you think about it, isn't that much. But when you're looking at it from there was some liberals that said that they'd rather do business with paying Iran rather than paying. And I'm a bastard. I want to make a deal with Putin. And that's how we get our West. How can we lower Britain's prices in Europe?
Make a deal with Putin, stick drills and start drilling in the North Sea.
And then continue building our green infrastructure. But politicians...
Make sure we got the current supply in good supply so we can then turn around and advance. Because that's the only way you're going to do it. I'm sorry for you lovely green people, but if you want to advance to get away from the oil and the fossil fuels, you currently need a steady stream of fossil fuels to develop the technology to get past it. And you ones going saying we can go straight to green structure now. No, we cannot. We have not got the infrastructure. The only way forward is through mini nuclear power stations. Because our safety regulations have improved massively, haven't they? Since previous disasters.
Yeah.
So we've learned how to control it better. Which means if we turn around and keep advancing with the technology...
Well, no, completely. We're on the cusp of getting to renewable green tech. We are.
Yeah.
But we are not... We haven't broken that fucking threshold yet. And that's why we still need to rely on oil. And as me and Chris have said in the last podcast, which was quite famous when I said to him, would you be Chancellor? And he said, yeah, drill in the north. Ed Miliband, you fucking retard.
We need to drill in the north. We need to have our own supply. I'm fed up of relying on other people. My famous saying.
Yeah.
You know, before you can help other people, you need to help yourself, which means you need to be stable at home before you can turn around and help people abroad. And that turns around and equates to across a variety of sectors. Yeah. Including what most people like to talk about, immigration as well. If you don't look after your own, how do you expect to look after people which are coming in? Simple. Build strong foundations, the rest will come easily. But I'm sorry, politicians, you think it's the other way around and it's just going to crumble. Example, America.
Yeah.
Learn from their mistakes.
And that's hard for fucking people to say. I fundamentally feel that the fuel crisis that we're going to have here is going to continue to impact us.
Obviously, John's saying it's obviously going to get worse. I'm not going to lie. I hope it doesn't get to the scale which he is forecasting. I'm hoping it only goes about half that way. Because I know for a fact there is already petrol stations on motorways which have already ran dry, and this is just at the start.
The scary thing is, like I said to you earlier, Ireland, half the petrol corks are gone.
Yeah, I know several service stations and petrol stations just off the motorway which have run out of diesel, and lorries are running on fumes to the next one. Yeah, and that is delivery lorries of goods. Yeah. So literally, if it's already running similar to that now, if it gets any worse, our delivery structure is going to collapse, because there'll be no goods going anywhere, because in fact there'll be no fuel to take anything anywhere. And Ireland is a precursor. If it's already turned around and started in Ireland,
it's fucking horrific.
Yeah,
Going on
if it gets any worse, Britain's going to turn the same way. Which does correlate within the food industry, because of the fact, obviously, deliveries to Tesco, Sainsbury's, M&S, Morrison's, Aldi, Lidl, everything, all their fuels still rely on diesel to get to us. Even the fast food industries will feel the pinch. If anything, I reckon the fast food industry has been the first ones to be cut.
I think, to be honest, they're dead in the water. This problem drags on.
Fast food industry is going up in smoke. Yeah. It'll be the first thing to be cut.
Absolutely.
If it comes to food, they'll turn around and they'll prioritise supermarkets over fast food.
Of course. Absolutely.
Straight off. So that means McDonald's, KFC, Subway, Pizza Hut, Domino's, anyone that...
The entire gig economy, the entire scooter gig economy will collapse if this drags on. There's no question about that.
I must stress this. This is at the far end of how far it can go. Yeah? Obviously, there's no harm in preparing, but that does not mean turn around. I know some of you will be like running straight to that supermarket and spending an entire month's paycheck on dry food. Build slowly, surely, sensibly. Yeah? Make note of what you already got and get what you need to make stuff last. Not buy everything and then everyone starts going into panic mode because there's nothing on the shop shelves. You'll just speed up the process. I know there's some of you which are turn around and not going to listen and go do it anyway, but you need to think before you act, especially in this time and age, with this current situation. And that does mean being smart with how you use your fuel. Does that mean seeking other modes of transportation, potentially for a short period of time? Do so. And train companies, that does not mean stick your fucking prices up. Because I see you being money grubby bastards. Trains don't run on, do trains run on fuel, or is it electric?
Trains are run on the electrical grid, but the grid that powers them runs on liquefied gas as firing stations. It's impossible. Without a steady independent supply in the North Sea, Britain's financially fucked when it comes towards the lack of renewable gas coming out of the...
So at the moment, lovely people, we need to be careful of what we spend our money on. That includes in preparation in case things go extreme. But that also means don't turn around and go do it, because of the fact you'll probably cause and affect people. You start causing it, it will affect it. Straight off the bat. I wish the budget Dorito thought this before turning around and actually raiding Iran. But clearly not. His brain cells have diminished since becoming president. And you could try and impeach me, Mr. President, but it ain't gonna fucking happen. But yeah, seriously, obviously, there are ones which are thinking about, obviously, all that biodiesel.
That's not going to work, not to the level of the infrastructure we have. I don't think people understand how much biodiesel you'd need to fuel just the UK. You'd need a fucking area the size of France in terms of ground.
I know Mackey's lorries use biodiesel because it's obviously been advertised on them. Yeah. And since we used to use it, we used to work in that sector.
Would you need to run the UK?
McDonald's is only just. I don't even think it's sustaining itself on biodiesel. There's still the normal diesel as well, and that's from a multi-million-dollar fast food company are only just sustaining themselves. Not quite sustaining themselves on biodiesel.
You would need the farming land of 2 Frances just to feed Britain in biodiesel. It's unpractical. And this is a key factor of why the Greens have stopped talking about it and have started going into things like electric cars. Because they stopped talking about biodiesel about 2010.
Biodiesel is a good idea.
It's brilliant if we had the ability to...
It's a good idea. It's a good idea to turn around to reduce the cost of diesel for the company. Yeah? But it's not sustainable.
No.
I think it only works for Mackey's because of the fact they use oil.
How much oil they have,
The oil they use is then used to go into biodiesel. Hence the reason why they're able to... They're just reusing the stuff they've already bought. Yeah? I think some of the other fast food companies are following suit on that as well.
I just don't think that biodiesel is Oh, okay. And then there's even bigger problems with that, Chris. We don't have the FAM, the fatty acids and methane essentials. We don't have the plants to build it. To turn a large-scale industrial transatlantic plant converted waste oil into fatty acids and methane ethyl or FAME, compliant with BSN standards, supported by mandatory increased bleeding percentages at pumps. Two levels of France worth of farming oil seed, and the problem is you know what makes one of the key factors that we'd have that much biodiesel fed material would degrade the level of Britain's actual fertility of its soil.
Not worth it.
Because they rip too much nutrients out of the ground for it to be of value. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because we've done it in other countries and we've seen it's fucked up, and it's taken those countries years to fix their topsoil.
Since obviously this lovely surge in fuel prices and everything else, obviously the renewable component has actually dropped in value as well, which means that 1 pence per litre buffer they had, it's been wiped out.
Oh yeah.
So
Just
the surge in fuel prices.
Just so you're aware, Chris,
taken effect.
we spend 19 billion litres of petrol a year.
You got to build a massive infrastructure if you want to go pure green to combat that, which
19
we don't have.
billion litres of fuel in 2020 in 2002.
Example of this.
That was 20 years ago.
Example of this is the fact that obviously there are more electric cars on the road now than there was 20 years ago, and it is becoming a more popular thing.
We're still not past that. We're not even at 10%.
It is building, but even now the current infrastructure is struggling with the amount of demand it has. The amount of times I've seen EV chargers out of use because of the fact they need updating, new parts or whatnot is insane.
To back what Chris is saying, 5.7% of all cars are now fully electric, and the grid system itself is crumbling under the weight of just 5.7% of Britain's cars.
Hence the reason why you see multiple EV chargers out of use. It is a fantastic idea going forward, but it needs investment. And at the moment, there's too much money in oil.
There needs to be another...
And too much cost in oil for them to invest in it.
There needs to be another £175 billion worth of infrastructure to get the cars up to 50%, just 50% of Britain's car industry, which they want us to do in 4 years, by 2030.
That ain't happening.
Anybody got a cool 200 billion? Hey, Chrissy, you got 200 billion in the back pocket to pay for this infrastructure?
If I had 200 billion to build the infrastructure...
Do you know what I'm saying? We do it though, because the money you would make, you charge what? Because currently you don't get charged a great deal for the EV charging stations, you don't. I would privately borrow 200 billion, build the infrastructure, and then charge something like 50, 60p a fucking goddamn charging station.
And people will still do it because that'll still be cheaper than bloody petrol.
Yeah. And you'd make your money back. It might take you 10 years, but you'd make your money back.
You'd be more than a billionaire by the time you make your money back.
Yeah. I want to borrow 200 billion, Mr. Banker. What the hell do you want to build? I want to build EV charging stations everywhere. Talk more.
I want to improve the current EV structure and expand on it and create a better infrastructure. With that 200 billion.
You'd have to come with some plans.
You would have to come. You'd have to come.
But you'd have the bankman's attention.
Yeah. If you come with a fully strategic plan of what's going to be spent, how it's going to be spent, what's going to be done, and everything else, the bank will probably fund it.
Yeah, 200 billion is a lot of money, but it's not impossible amount.
You would meet resilience though from the current energy sphere.
Doesn't matter. In this crisis, this is where you'd want to build that idea.
Yeah.
In this crisis, because they have no leg room right now. Because the politicians are looking for results.
You would take control of the energy sphere if you did.
Yeah, you would, absolutely would. But you then the problem isn't the EV supply. The problem is we don't have the micro-nuclear reactors to fuel that. Because remember, that's 19 billion barrels a year you need to replace in electricity. We need so you can, on one side, me and you as private equity people, build this massive EV structure. On the other, the Prime Minister has to fucking hammer those nuclear reactors out.
Well, you do it on the EV structure build, I'll build the nuclear reactors, mean you will own the entire UK.
I get 50p out of every vehicle charging and every house charging. Me and Chris are the new trillionaires.
You become the Rothmans.
You know the problem with that? That's called inside trading. You go to prison. Because me saying to you, you build the reactors, Mr. Prime Minister, I'll build the EVs, we are getting rich, we're going to prison, because that's corrupt. That is a expert corrupt moment.
How's that corrupt? I'm going to build the structure, I need a partner to turn around and build the power station.
Chris, because I'm chucking you checks, darling. Because you're not going to say do this for nothing. When you leave the Prime Minister's office, you want your seat on my board, you want them checks. That's corruption. That's illegal, actually.
I'm sure there's a legal way to do it.
Yeah, there is. We don't know it.
That's where the lawyers come in.
Yeah, we don't know it.
How do me and my mate turn around and do this without being stuck in jail?
And of course, wipe out the entire petrol fucking industry at the same time and not be assassinated, because that's the next thing. You're going to need levels of bodyguards.
Levels? I'd stick myself up on a mountain with frigging just armoured shit all the way fucking down it.
Because petrol fucking companies, they make absolute fucking shitloads. And we don't deny that. But
you would have to buy the petrol company out to do it.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't need to. In this crisis, if this crisis extends, and me and you had the money, the influence and the power to build the micro-nuclear reactors, build the EV stations, the car supplies would come. We don't even need to worry about the ability to fill the cars exist. Because there's only 1.9 million cars, electric cars on the road now. That's about 5% of all cars. There is 20 million, 30 million fucking electric cars out there.
If we turn around and actually followed through with that and done the infrastructure, created the power supply and everything else, we'd affect the car industry, the energy industry,
absolutely,
oil industry. We would control Britain.
This is one of the reasons why you wouldn't be able to retire as a Prime Minister. Or if you did, you'd have to be a backbencher. You'd have to be on speed dial to the Prime Minister. Because the reality of that is society would be reliant on me and you being kept sweet. And that's where corruption is the biggest problem. Because I can see the benefit, like you need to do this, but on a larger group. Does that make sense? So you as the Prime Minister are going to set up the nuclear reactors. Me and 10 other businessmen build EV stations everywhere. So then there is a pool of people making the businesses, trading, marketing, keeping the prices low.
I'd split the country into sections then.
Yeah.
You take Scotland, you take Wales, you take...
I'll have England. That's the bulk of that population. Hey, if we're doing this by country, I want England. That's a fucking chunk of change. That's like 85% of the population.
You take the mainland, someone takes London, the other one takes Cornwall.
No one wants Cornwall. There's no one there.
No tourist structure.
No, still no one there. You think Cornwall makes a lot of money on terms of petrol costs? Look at the petrol station costs You know how to do this. Look at the petrification starts of Cornwall and tell me that they don't. People don't holiday that much in Britain anymore, Chris. That was 20 years ago.
Yeah, but you still need the structure down there.
Yeah, of course, but it's not going to be worth a great deal.
I'll give them London plus Cornwall.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Because the other boroughs have all got their various values.
Yeah, that'll literally be 4. Wales, London, Cornwall, Central Britain, Scotland.
That's
4.
No. You'd have to break that up. You'd have Cornwall, Somerset.
Yeah, when I say Cornwall, I mean it'd be the south. So that's called the foot of Britain.
Yeah, the foot of Britain. So foot of Britain
that would
be
include
one.
Gloucester.
Yeah. No, it wouldn't. We would do the Midlands.
Would be the Midlands.
We'd be the Midlands.
Yeah, probably cut it off at Bristol, because then Bristol will be a quite fair chunk of that network then.
Yeah. So you've got the south, you've got the Midlands, and then you've got the north. Those are the 3 regions in Britain. Then you've got Wales and Scotland. Because Wales and Scotland don't need independent breaking up, because their infrastructure is fucking. They make up less than 10% of the population, the country's population.
You'd have to divvy it up between the companies. And also, one little side effect is also all these lovely fuel prices going up. The government are making a tiny little profit as well off the tax.
Oh, I know. It's fucking mad.
Literally, they're taking 6.5p per litre off for diesel, and 4p per litre for petrol. Currently.
You see, going back to our conversation, you need to break England up, because England represents 84% of our 70 million population. It'd have to be in multiple regions. You probably could do it in 5. Midlands, East, North, South, and then everything connecting between it. Then Wales and Scotland. Because Wales and Scotland by themselves are not regions, mate, let's be fair. They represent 14% of our population combined between them. They're tiny populated parts of the UK.
Combine that 14%, so so literally be 7% each.
About that. Scotland got more. I think Scotland's got a larger population than Wales. I'm not sure.
What percentage is London?
London's 10% of the population.
You'd have to turn around and break.
So London would have to be its own grid.
You'd have to turn around and break it into 10 then. 10% each.
Yeah, you could probably do that. But that's on the tangent of if we had the ability to build the EV cars.
If you had the ability to build EV cars plus infrastructure, you would then split it between 10 business people, 10% each. I cannot get fairer than that.
You don't know.
The government owns the infrastructure.
No, the government owns the licenses. You own the You don't do any of the fucking work. You get paid for a license.
Yeah.
You be smart about that with governments.
You'd nationalise the grid.
The grid's the grid itself is nationalised. It's the supply that isn't. What you want to do is nationalise the supply.
Nationalise the supply. That
nuclear
itself,
reactors, supplying the electrical cars, allowing the electrical cars.
That in itself guarantees jobs.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
Yeah, that means you then turn around. In order for any job cutting to be done, a thorough analysis of the structure would need to be done in order to minimise workload. But I would be the opposite. I'd be like, I want to make sure there are people there in case something goes wrong.
You see, the scary thing is, this is why AI eating into these positions is such a terrifying moment for the UK.
No, actually, I think AI would be an advantage.
You see, from a country point of view, no. People underestimate. You're realising there is going to be a shift in population structure.
It's been AI being used to help keep the nuclear reactor running.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm on about in that sense, not a case of global thing, a case of each nuclear reactor has its own AI stabilising effect, so that if something was to go wrong and we're not fast enough, the AI kicks in and completely sorts it out. So it's a backup safety system.
But what you've got to understand is we need to have ways of generating new jobs because of how many jobs are becoming redundant. That's the scary thing, because remember, when people don't have work, Chris, what are they going to do? People say, "Oh, we're going to have to have a universal credit." Do you really want to be paid for by your government? Do you want the government to control how much money you should have? Because that's the future we're looking at.
See, this is where you're getting into the core of economics here, because it's a fine balance of what can obviously AI is developing. It's now becoming a battle of manpower versus AI.
The problem being is manpower. What do you do with the millions and millions of people that are going to be out of work?
Well, the manpower is still going to need to build the infrastructure. But hang on. Then it comes to the fact when this infrastructure is then complete, what do you then do with that manpower? That is
the question of the political world.
That is where we're currently standing at, because we could build the infrastructure for everything to be nice and cozy and easy for humanity, but then what would you then do afterwards? Because I'm not gonna lie, it's already been, you know, for a fact, if you don't have anything to do or anything to aspire to, you go bloody nuts. Yeah. It's not like back in the dark ages, cave ages, where in fact you literally lived to survive. You had to go out, hunt and everything else to survive. We're coming to the point now where machinery, if we develop it fast enough...
Oh, it is. It's unquestionable that the AI is developing fast enough.
Completely take over and... Oh, what was it? Up. No, not Up. Oh, try and think it. WALL-E.
Where's WALL-E?
No, WALL-E, the Disney animation.
Oh, okay, yeah, the little machine,
Yeah, the little machine, which...
Had the humans running around...
After humanity, and the humanity were... fat blobs on spaceships. Yeah. That's a potential future, not a recommended one.
No, it's not.
We need to find that balance. We're at that stage now where we could go one of two ways. We either go down the path, one of three ways. Sorry. Yeah.
Annihilation is on the cards.
One of three ways: self-implosion.
This is humanity, so that is still very much a thing.
Yeah, self-implosion, balance between
or Dyson Topic,
us and AI, or Terminator. Let's get that straight. Terminator, Matrix, that is possible.
Fucking Jesus.
Yeah, bear in mind that is the extreme side. I'm not going to lie. We need to aim for the balance between human evolution and technology.
It's a fucking quirky question.
Because we're on that. Most people say we're not even close to that purposes. Yes, we are.
No. I've been doing a bit of research about this. Artificial relative intelligence, AVG or something like that.
Yeah.
That's around the corner. They say 2028. They are literally talking within a couple of years.
We're on the precipice, and now it's a case of how it progresses.
That's if America survives as a country by 2028. The politics of the world, we don't know. America might implode and AI stops.
I think this if America goes into civil war, it may delay 12 hours.
No, delay isn't the word, mate. It might fucking crumble. AI is...
no, because even though I know America's heading a charge on AI.
No, more than heading.
I should say the main frontier ship, yeah. But Europe is still not far behind. But there again, I know for a fact us Europeans, because UK, we are part of the European market.
82% of all AI research is done in America.
So
it would cripple them. If hypothetically that America collapsed because of Donald Trump and
you don't want to know China will pick up that.
No.
Is it China or Japan? Which one? One of them's got quite good on AI control.
It's not that, Chris. They don't have the technological infrastructure America has. America is still technologically, infrastructure-wise, more advanced than any other country on the planet. We need to say that out loud.
I know they're more advanced because if I think how far ahead they've charged ahead.
But the AI, the artificial intelligence, becoming dominant in the US market is about 82% of all the R&D, all of the research, all of the AI engineering. It comes from the US.
That's because the fact they're developing it so it makes life easier.
Yeah. But the infrastructure and the development is core in America. Northern Virginia is projected to account for 65% of the global data center growth through 2030. So, I mean, if the US survives Donald Trump, that is a question that we are asking now. You are not invincible, cousin. Yeah? You have a maniac at charge. Development. You do have a maniac in charge. Yeah, 50. 3 are in Europe, 40 are in America, Chris, and only 15 in China. So Europe only has 3 AI companies of great note. China has 15. America has 40.
So so if America was to implode, there still will be the.
Oh yeah, we'd have it, but it would
still have
fucking hugely collapse.
The AI development, but it will be stunted. Which, to be quite honest, I'm not gonna lie. I think at this precise moment, I think will do us great good.
You're suggesting America's collapse is greater good, Christopher? You conspiracy theorist.
Well, the way the current president is trying to run things, it would be for the greater good. I'm sorry, America. But if there are Americans which turn around and actually think about it the way the rest of the world think about it, we'll probably think, actually, we do need to rein ourselves in, because otherwise our collapse at the moment would be more beneficial to the world.
Yeah.
It's been said. I've put it out there.
I just, as I said.
And sorry, Israel, but you're going to be the sacrificial lamb.
Oh, they're long, they're fucked, mate. I don't see a scenario, politically speaking, of where Israel recovers from this. They are a stereotypical apartheid state. It might take years for them to die, but I think we will see the death of Israel, me and you.
I'll say a nice little roundabout thing about obviously the fuel UK prices and everything, and the petrol prices going up. The UK fuel prices are rising not just because of retailer greed, because there is that element to it, but because of global geopolitical stocks, wholesales, cost surges, squeezed margins, and structural supply chain pressures, whilst the government also quietly collects tax as a result as well. Yeah. And that's increasing on their share.
Oh, the geopolitics of society is maddening, absolutely fucking maddening.
So at the moment, the current supply issue due to the stuff going on in Iran is the nail that's cracked the coffin, because it was on a fine edge as it was. A nail that's cracked the support beam that was holding it up.
Pretty much. I think that's a pretty good conclusion, don't you, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I'm Sean, as always, or John, or Johan, depends on who you're asking.
I'm Chris. Hope you have a smashing day. And please take everything with sensible
precautions and thought. Yeah.
And thought.
Don't be reckless. Don't be destructive. And thank you for those of you who've got to the end of our video. We do appreciate those of you who stay with our podcast. Please like and subscribe. We find that a lot of the people who come onto our podcast tend to only watch as non-subscribers, so we would deeply appreciate if you subscribed amongst us. And as always, this is the Blue Collar Workers, what politics actually means for working people in the United Kingdom. So